Hello?
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 Are you just collecting booze over there, Cody?
Are you ready? Okay. Cheers!
Welcome, everybody.
How are you today?
I'm good.
Back for another really exciting, super exciting episode of our Tuesday Whiskeys. We're getting to something that has been haunting us on the show for a long time. And that's a Crowded Barrel Alliance series with our Ironroot distillery. So Crowded Barrel, most of you watching this probably know who Crowded Barrel is. That's the Whiskey Tribe guys. And they do a lot of really cool, tests with whiskey. They do a lot of experiments and they create a lot of cool things. They're now distilling their own whiskey. Normally they were just finishing different finishes, but they set up an alliance series with area distilleries, or actually just distilleries in general. If you don't know what alliance series is, or an alliance, it's usually they'll pull alcohol from a different distillery. This is an age-old thing from Scotland. They'll pull alcohol from a distillery that most people don't have access to, and then they will bottle it and sell it so the people in their area have access to it. And so this is one of the Alliance series from Crowded Barrel for Ironroot Republic. So Ironroot's not really hard for us to find. We can just go up the street, basically. It's just north of us, about 50 miles, and visit them, and we can get Ironroot. But Crowded Barrel does it for a lot of their people because they have a lot of international people that will fly in once a year to pick up their bottles because you can order them there and they'll hold them forever. They have an alliance series with quite a few Texas distilleries plus Wyoming whiskey. We've never tried Wyoming whiskey, which I think we bought our Wyoming, which moves around a lot. I think we bought our Wyoming in Colorado, so don't know that it was really available here for a while. So that's what this is. So this isn't really a Crowded Barrel. It's just Crowded Barrel's done it in a little bottle. They're $3.75. They sell about for $40.
And I just want to say one thing.
Just one thing?
You think Sam has a nice look at the Whiskey Tribe?
Yeah, the Whiskey Tribe's got me by about 1,500. Or thereabouts. They boast about 2,000 plus bottles, and we're boasting... I don't know. I say it's about 800, but I think it's more like 600.
This is impressive.
Yeah, because you don't see it's all down here and there and stuff.
But the Whiskey Tribe is like, damn.
Yeah. And they're really funny, and I met one of them, and he's just a really great guy. Rex, they're just amazing people.
The Moocher?
The Mooch. And that's kind of what got us started, or at least me, started about wanting to set up this channel to give my experience, because I like to collect, and I'm really into video. I've done a lot of video in my past, so may not be a front of the camera type of guy, but...
Yeah, it's like, in my house, I got like, I don't know, maybe like 20 bottles. And I'm like, this is pretty impressive. And then I come up here and I'm like, oh.
Pretty sure it comes up when I'm not here. So let's get into this. This is the Ironroot number 1. So they're on their second series. Ironroot number 1. This bottle's 55.15% or 110 proof. If you look on their webpage, it's a little bit higher, but each bottle is going to vary. As I said, it's $40. So this is $40 for a $3.75. They don't do the $7.50s, but if we extrapolate, that's going to make it a $80 bottle. So this is a $1 bourbon rating for barrel price. It is aged 2 years.
So what I want to ask is, it's like a tiny bottle. Why aren't we doing it in the wee Karens?
True. And we just barely opened it last week because Alex, our fourth partner in crime, she could not be here tonight, and she's a huge Crowded Barrel fan. In fact, we've got bottles down there that she and I have to go pick up because we've ordered. And so I went ahead and opened it and tapped it for her so she could try it, because she's just been kind of like that old TV commercial where she walks in and just looks at it and goes, open.
Open.
So let's go ahead and get started with this. 110 proof, the Ironroot, and it doesn't really say. We have Promethean up there. This does not say what this. If it does, it's really small. I'm not sure which one this is. Ironroot has several different kinds. It's a very bourbon-esque aroma. I'm straying from, I guess I'm keeping social distancing because I keep moving this way. Which I probably have some tags here, and you guys can't see now.
This is just, like, I haven't even had a taste, and this aroma is so good.
I think you're skewed a little bit over there, buddy.
I don't know what to say about this.
Yeah, I can tell.
This is just fabulous booze.
Ooh. Yeah. Okay. $80 basically for a 370 or 750. This is $40 for 375. That's a 1 barrel. So that's a major hit on the overall barrel rating cost-wise. For aroma, I'm giving it a 3.5. You're giving it
I gave it a 4.5.
A 4.5. I find it's got a very bourbon-esque aroma to it. That dark cherry, vanilla, a little bit of the sweetness of it to me is the vanilla, but I can get hints of molasses, that kind of darkish sweetness, but I'm getting that with the dark cherry. It's just very bourbon-esque, but there's a tinge of, I don't know, Texas to it, that darkness, that richness.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's like, you're always asking me the flavors I taste, and I just taste it. I'm like, oh, this is good. And you do a lot of the research and stuff, so that's what you're like looking for. And for me, right. I don't do any research. I'm just like, oh, so, this is good.
Let's just be clear here. I don't actually research what people say about this.
No, you're researching whiskey.
Right. I do a lot of reading of whiskeys and a lot of tastings, and I do flights at bars, and I jot down notes, and then I go and compare what I find to what other people find. So there's probably a description on Crowded Barrel's website of what you're supposed to smell and what you're supposed to taste. But when you do this, it's all subjective. What I get and what you get are two different things because it's memory.
Completely different.
So that's why I don't like to truly tend to read reviews until I've done it, and then I'll go back and look, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
Or I never got that. There's some things that are very difficult for me, like mowed grass, which is very common. Sometimes I can get it, but I call it more of a earthy to me.
Yeah.
So it's very subjective. For flavor, I gave it a 4. This is a very step above most bourbons. You can definitely taste that vanilla, molasses, that cherry, that richness, that kind of Texas heat richness, because, it's 2 years. Look how dark that is.
And because if you don't know, the barrels in Texas, it gets hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold.
Yeah. So normally you could this is my analogy. This is no scientific basis, no scientific back. And there's a lot of controversy of how the barrel reacts to whiskeys. But my theory, my kind of go-to belief is that for every 2 years in Texas barrels, you could say that's 4 years in Kentucky barrels, or 8 years in Scottish, Scotland.
Well, Scotland is a lot cooler. It doesn't get the hot, cold, hot, cold.
If this was a 2-year Scotch, it would be really light. And of course, the difference is Scotch is in a used barrel. In America, we use new barrels, so you get a lot more of that full barrel right away. But yeah, you're right. With Texas heat, just pushing it out, and then you have them real colds in where this is up in Decatur. They get some heavy snows.
In Kentucky, you get the hot, cold, but it's not near as much as here in Texas, where it's like...
Right. So I give this a 4. You give this a 5.
I'm like, I love this.
Okay.
I'm giving it a 5. No. 5 and 4 and...
This is where we are going to differ. You're giving it a 5 on bite. I give it a 3.5 on bite. It's got a bite. It's 110 proof. It's smooth, but it's peppery, and it's got a bite. It doesn't linger. No lingering.
No, it's like...
I could boost it to 4, and it's not going to matter to me because this is going to get a barrel boost because of the price. So my overall rating's 3. It's definitely a 3.5 to me on minimum. You're doing 15.5. So we have a 3.5 point difference here. So you're giving it a full 4. So we're going to have to equal it out to 3.5. So I'm going up, you're going down. So this is a 3.5 barrel rating. The difference is it's really expensive. I think that you're being a little bit lenient on the bite. I remember a few episodes ago, there was something that was kind of really high proof or low proof. It was like 80 something, and you thought it had a big bite.
Yeah.
So you got COVID tongue or something going on.
I don't got the COVID.
I think this is a wonderful pickup. Now, realize this is not Crowded Barrel. This is Ironroot. So it's just a nostalgic little cool bottle. Is it worth the price? No, because for $40, $50, you could probably get the 750 of Ironroot. We have the Promethean up there. Could be the same stuff. It's just a really cool thing. A really cool metal label on it and stuff. I kind of like the bottle, and that's the reason I got it. I don't normally want to pick up the Alliance. They did a blended that I wanted, where they took a bunch of distilleries in Texas and blended them into one group, and I really wanted that, but they were sold out. Added water to this, brought up the heat quite a bit.
Yeah, I definitely noticed that when you put the water in there and it.
Many of you that watch us may already have tried the Alliance series or the Ironroot series. Tell us what you think. Tell us if we're missing anything on this taste and aroma and what we talked about. Anything else you want us to do? We do have a new Eleanor. I purchased a new Eleanor from Crowded Barrel. And I think this is nearing the last of their finish series. And then I also picked up, we have to go down and get it, they have a rye series, and I finally got the rye. So I look forward to that. Crowded Barrel is just a great little place to visit. You need to check it out.
Well, is the Crowded Barrel is just, I know they're just stealing their own stuff, but it's what you picked up?
No.
Is that source?
I think the rye, I don't know, I have to ask. I'll email or ask when I'm down there. I think the rye possibly could be theirs, but the Eleanor isn't yet. When they come out with their own, it'll be a whole new name, I think. A whole new series. And I think they're really close to getting that on the market.
It down. Because it's like you watch their videos and it's like...
And you got to watch their store because they sell out quickly. I just happen to be checking on stuff because we're going down south on Monday to another distillery to pick up some stuff, and I wanted to drop by and see if they're open because of COVID and stuff, and they're not, and I noticed that they had stuff back on sale. Usually I get a little notice, and I must have missed that,
and
so I jumped on it.
This is our video, but I'm just saying, if you watch their videos, it's so exciting to just watch.
Yeah, we could have a whole series on different channels you should watch, because there's some really good channels out there that are well known, and there's some good channels that aren't well known.
Oh, I've seen one guy in his living room just doing it. I'm like, oh, that guy is cool.
Yeah, and we have quite a few people who have their own channels that watch us, and they'll send stuff, messages to us about the video we just did, and they're going to do it or whatever. What is funny, and this video is going way long, is obviously Crowded Barrel's not going to do this one, but we are always really close. We'll do an episode, and about 3 weeks later or 2 weeks later, they'll do the same bottle, or vice versa. Sometimes it's like eerily. It's
close.
Like, yeah, we're communicating or something. This is weird. Yeah. Remember to check out Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and merchandise. Make sure you like and subscribe. It's really important for you to at least subscribe to us because it helps me understand what's people want and if they're liking it and stuff. And then remember, there's no bad whiskey. There's only good whiskey and great whiskey. And this is Ironroot, Crowded Barrel. This is great whiskey.
I like
you always
this
do a fine job.
a lot.
So, cheers.
Laters.